Welcome to TLC for the Soul podcast, where soul meets spirit. You have entered into sacred space. I'm your host, TAMI Chambers, and I'm here to help you shine. Now let's get going on this podcast journey. Hello, friends. Hello. And welcome back. Welcoming myself back to our little corner of the Bringers of the Light world. I wanted to sit with you guys for a few moments today and talk a little bit about some of the things on my February creativity list that I pinned out everywhere, I think, of things that I wanted to for us to kind of take a look at for this month of February. So what I'd like us to focus on, what we'll see where the guides want to take us, is kind of a compilation of the energies of this Chinese year of the wood snake. Is it Chinese or is it Asian? Sorry, I don't know. I think it's Chinese New Year. Year of the wood snake. The nodes of fate change into Pisces and Virgo, and the upcoming eclipses in March, which is just already going to be next month. So before I go any further, let me wrap us all in love light and light love. Inviting in the guides who overlight TLC for the soul, Archangel Michael, Archangel Metatron, the Pleiadians, and a host of TLC for the soul guides joining me here for this fun, the magic. Trying to go find the eclipse dates. Okay, so these three things. So the Chinese New Year, the Asian New Year, the wood snake. We just came out of the dragon, now into the snake. All of these energies, whether we follow them or not, kind of inadvertently have some sort of effect on us. More so, I think, the astrology than the wood snake, so to speak. But because the wood snake is a big collective energy, it kind of bumps up against us as well. The nodes of fate, I think, is probably one of the most important ones because that kind of kicks off these eclipses that are coming up in March. So the nodes of fate shifted in January, the beginning of January, out of Aries and Libra and into Pisces and Virgo. And I don't know about you guys, but they're in the same sign. So the nodes of fate is like collective energy, and there's nothing on the board right now. We're going to pull some cards in just a second. But the nodes of fate change every year and a half. So the last time we had a nodes of fate change was a year and a half before January. So it was like the summer of 2023. I think it was July or August of 2023. And for me, that was just like, oh gosh, that was crazy. And I was so happy to kind of see the nodes of fate shift and change, but I just am not sure what we've got ourselves into here with Pisces and Virgo. So I want to pull some cards around that. And then the eclipses just kind of fuel that energy even more because they happen in the same signs. So on March 13th, we have a lunar eclipse near the south node in the sign of Virgo. And on March 29th, we have a new moon solar eclipse near the north node, but it's 9 degrees Aries, and the north node right now is in Pisces. So I want to get the cards out and just ask the guides, because this energy has direct impacts on us, in addition to like the daily astrology and the new moons and the full moons, and why you may not be into your own astrology, your birth chart, your natal birth astrology chart is actually part of your soul blueprint. It carries all the sacred geometry, key codes, activations and stuff throughout your lifetime as things transit through your astrology chart. So whether you follow astrology or not, believe it or think it's not important, it really is what happens in the celestials through the sacred geometry of the celestials is what happens through the sacred geometry of your own soul's journey. Oh, my door won't close. Oh no, my house has shifted again. Yeah, I can't close my door. There. It's kind of a little loud in the background. My house is very old, and I want to welcome you here. If you're new, you're probably like, why am I just staring at a blank screen? But I did want to set this up before I just start pulling cards. This is TLC for the Soul. My name is Tammy Lynn Chambers. I'm not going to go through the whole intro. You can read about me all over the place in the bio, on my YouTube channel, on my podcast, which is probably where I'm going to be posting this. But I think these are important to kind of give you a sense of the energy that's out there, some of the bigger themes, and then you can play with that as you see fit. And if you are into your own astrology, like the astrology of your birth chart, and maybe you're more of an advanced or intermediate astrologer, then maybe this will just give you something more to ponder as you look at your chart. Now, I am not an astrologer. I follow the astrology pretty closely. I think I'm more on the intermediate side, maybe the beginning, advanced, they're saying, side of astrology, although I'm not so much into the sacred geometry, like T-square. I mean, I'll follow that, but I'm not plotting sacred geometry on astrology charts or anything like that. Now I'm up close and personal. This is the space we've been using for the dailies, which I post almost everywhere now. If they run over 3 minutes, then on Instagram and TikTok, you only see the first 3 minutes of those. But on YouTube, you may get the full one because sometimes they're going now into about 4 and 4.5 minutes. So we've got a lot of new people here. Thank you so much for joining me. We do a lot of fun things on this channel. I try to bring uplifting, positive, magical, childlike, inner child fun stuff. So it's not so much always heavy topics about what's going on. I do have some other things planned for this month ahead. I wanted to do a February walk and talk, but right now it's, I don't even know. It's going to be -22 Fahrenheit. I'm based in North Dakota near Fargo in the United States, and it is another brutal cold spell, which I thought we were only going to have one. We usually get a really big one at the end of January. And now this mid-February, we've got 2 weeks, pretty much almost 2 weeks of extreme cold. So we won't move back into the positive digits, kind of on and off, but even into the 20s until like the end of next week. While other places that I follow, like the Bahamas, it's 77 degrees today. It's -2 here. 68 degrees in Maui. 85 in Orlando. 41 in Paris. Salem, Massachusetts is 32. And Sleepy Hollow is 35. Wow. And around here, when it goes in the 20s and 30s, after all this really cold, it's like t-shirt weather. You go out and you're like, oh, just put a light sweater on. Okay. So let's see where the guides want us to start today. So I'd like this chest of drawers because it's got pretty much almost all my decks in it. We can just kind of reach in and get what we need. But let's start first. Where do you want to start? I'm asking the guides here that are with us where they want to start as we take a deep dive. And the backdrop is actually the picture that inspired my book, Brighty Isle. So I'm also an author, artist, master healer. All of my ebooks are free to read, and links to everything I talk about are in the show notes anywhere you catch me. Okay, so they want to talk about the nodes of fate. So I'm going to get out some of these decks you'll recognize from the dailies. I'm going to get out The City of Dreams by Jackie Franco and just put, what do we most need to know about this nodes of fate now in Pisces and Virgo. The portal. Yeah, but the portal to what? Maybe, I think they're going to have, I think we're going to do the nodes of fate at least. So the portal to what? Because every new cycle is a portal to something. So that's very vague. I feel like we're going to get led on it's funny that I'm talking about Brighty Isle and that is the picture in the background. Well, that's from an I Spy book, but that inspired me to write or channel a book called Brighty Isle, which is part of my Bringers of the Light series. But let me see here. Brighty Isle was about Abigail and Dakar going on a picnic to Brighty Isle, which was a little island off the coast of Rockaway Point where they are based, and meeting, just having a big adventure there on a picnic that they were going together. So I feel like that's maybe where the spirits have me really work for these stepping stones. So we said a portal to what? This is Through the Eyes of the Soul by Cheryl Yonbrock Rose. I like the backs a lot. A portal to what? Ugh. These are paintings. Accept the opportunity that is being offered and visualize healing. Card number 10 and card number 19. Now, I do look at the book for this one because the locations can be significant here. So let's, a portal to what? Let's follow the breadcrumb trail. Oh, my room's going to get hot if I keep the door closed. 19. Card number 19. Accept the opportunity that's being offered. Glastonbury. Okay. Glastonbury Goddess. Take on a worthy challenge, but pay close attention to details before making a commitment. Okay, I get it. This is the Virgo side of which is the South Node. The South Node is in Virgo and the North Node is in Pisces. So the great goddess has many aspects. One of these is the challenger. In this painting, she is offering the Grail Cup to the spiritual warrior, inviting him to take up the quest. He is chomping at the bit with enthusiasm of youth to begin his adventures. His optimism is infectious and spreads a sense of goodwill to those around him. The idealistic goal will shift and change as the warrior progresses towards it. His mission is full of possibilities, but he must first learn to be self-disciplined and to be observant in strange surroundings. Boldly, he ventures into the unknown with confidence in his future success. And I just saw 1, 2, 3, 4 on the timer. Typically, the South Node is the past, the things we're leaving behind, the things we're clearing up, the things we're moving away from, and the North Node is like moving towards our future. So then I would see that card as kind of being self-disciplined and opportunities to move away from things that are no longer take on a worthy challenge, but pay close attention to details before making a commitment. The idealistic goal will shift and change as the, why does it say idealistic goal? All right, so the North Node is kind of where we're headed. Let's take a look at this, and then we can put this little story together. This is card number 10. Visualize healing. The burning of the sage. Okay, so that's what she has in her hand is sage. Address health issues with positive visualizations. Use your intuition to connect into your energy field and identify the causes of your distress. Research may be necessary to get a balanced view. So we had Glastonbury over here, and over here, this is Mount Shasta. Oh my God, this is so funny because this is where I'm connected into both of these. This is total new Lemurian energies. This painting is about a sacred ceremony of the Shasta Native Americans who live near the base of Mount Shasta. When a Shasta couple marries, they retain some of the sage from their wedding ceremony and keep it in a little pouch. When they experience marital discord or ill health, they burn the sage as a powerful incense, giving up their problems to the Creator and knowing they will be solved. Many illnesses are generated by disharmony. The fragrant smoke of the sage is a visionary tool that focuses healing intention, encompasses negative energy, and wafts it into the sky. In the background are the pinnacle peaks of Castle Crags, located to the west of Mount Shasta. They say this was the site of the last tribal conflict. The woman shaman wears flicker feathers on her head and senses that close by is white spirit bird Raven, who is sometimes the trickster. Huh. This is the next year and a half of our lives. The next year and a half. And we've got Shasta and Glastonbury and the portal. Now, if you look at the astrologers, what they're saying for 2025 and 2026 is, each year we get closer to solar maximum. The solar activity is already off the charts. And we are just I feel like we are just being bombarded with change and not confrontational energies, but energies that are making us confront old ways of being and having us release those old ways of being. But the thing is that before, like maybe 2 or 3 years ago, and I'm walking around with my wireless, but I'm kind of pacing around talking, like 2 or 3 years ago, where you might have had like a thing that you had to clear and move out of your energy field, you might have had like a lot of integration time, maybe 2 or 3 weeks, a month or more, to integrate all of these things before something else came along. And now it just seems like it's bam, I'm getting big chills, bam, bam, big chills in my confirmation if you're new here, from Spirit going, yes, this is exactly where we're headed. But right now it seems like bam, 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 bam. So it can be very overwhelming. Something clears, something comes up to be addressed and cleared. It can be very intense. You clear it, and then with a matter of like a week or so, something else comes up. It's just one right after the other, right after the other, right after the other. And I kind of had a little like, I don't even know what the word is, discord with the guides, because I was like, what was I like? I don't even know. I just sat down and lost my train of thought. Yeah, they're like taking that thought away. Apparently that's not good to talk. Apparently we don't want to talk about that, whatever it was. But I don't know. Ultimately, I can put my own filters on it. You want to see it however it relates to you, but you're being asked to clear and transmute and move through old energy faster than ever before now. And that's where I think this Virgo side of things, the South Node in Virgo is coming up. Virgo is all about, I don't want to say taskmaster because I don't have a lot of, actually I do have a lot of Virgo. I have a lot of Virgo in the 7th house, which is weird. I have a very weird chart though. I don't know if any of you out there have an intercepted chart. It's not that common. It is, but it's not. Maybe a third of the population has it. And it's where you have like, I don't want to go into what it is, but it's like even more challenging chart than like a chart that doesn't have intercepted houses in it. So if you'll know it because you'll have a house in your astrology chart and you'll have 3 astrology signs in one house. And so it'll look like a big old house pointing to 3 different signs. And then on the opposite side of your chart, you'll have the same thing. And I just found out what that was recently. Spirit finally opened my eyes to that and showed me, look at your chart. Doesn't it look different? And I was like, what the heck is that? And then when I looked it up, like, what does it mean to have 3 astrology signs in one house? It's called an intercepted chart, and it's only dealt with in Western astrology, but it's supposed to be like a much more, of course, why not? A much more challenging aspects and a much more challenging, I think, like, soul experience in this lifetime. So yay me. But if that's you, then you may be clearing out more than you ever thought you would. And I think that's some of the tip. Some of the tip is like, if I had known this, I never would have done this spiritual journey. It's very, very challenging. So And now with the energy the way it is, the solar maximum, the solar flares, we've reached this tipping point that Diana Cooper's talking about, where over 50% of the population is now starting to wake up. And yeah, it's a lot. So this is just helping us clear away even more this challenge, this Grail Cup. I see this as another quest. Glastonbury, there's Archangel Michael's, the Glastonbury tour is there in the background. I mean, I feel like this is all about part of why you came. Your soul mission, your soul purpose is not just to maybe have, you know, a job where you serve others or whatever. And you're going through the awakening process. And, you know, we talk about, why am I here? What's my soul mission? What's my soul purpose? Well, much of it is to do what you love, but a lot of it is your soul came here to shed all these old skins and these old layers and this old karma and all the past dross. And it's here to level up. And the only way it can level up is by taking things out and putting new stuff in. So I feel like this side of things, the Pisces North Node, even though Pisces is technically the last house of the zodiac, in the nodes of fate, the nodes of fate move in the opposite direction from the astrology wheel. So while the planets and points and things happening on the astrology wheel move counterclockwise, the nodes of fate move clockwise when they change. And so Pisces, for the nodes of fate changing, is technically in the first house of the nodes of fate. Like a whole new cycle begins in Pisces. And having Mount Shasta here, to me, is all about, I feel like the majority of people that come to this channel are working with new Lemurian energies. Not so much Atlantean, although you may have had Atlantean past lives. I feel like you were here in this lifetime holding the new Lemurian light codes. And what that means is you draw power from the new Lemurian ley lines, portals, grids, sacred sites, and power points, like I do. And one of the biggest ones is from the Hawaiian Islands all the way up to around Seattle, maybe right outside of the British Columbia, or like not the British, I don't know what's the coast of Canada area, right in there. That whole ley line, you can sit yourself and your energy anywhere on that ley line and draw power from it. But at the same time, I had this thing the other day where I'm like, I am the ley line. I am holding, and not just me, but all of us here, we're holding these new Lemurian light codes. And what is the new Lemurian as opposed to the new Atlantean? Because I feel like they're both rising. I feel like the new Atlantean is more the techie side of things. The AI, because what was Atlantis, right? I feel like the new Atlantean is more the techie side of things, the AI, all that stuff. That's more off-world technical stuff. Things that starseeds are bringing in to advance the new human through technology, through, yeah, I'm getting a lot of chills, through like healing, but healing in a different way than just current Western healing, right? So it could be Eastern healing, but I feel like it goes much beyond that. They're showing me this thing about, oh, my son showed it to me the other day. Nyoka showed it to me the other day. It was two university students who think they've figured out teleportation through working with different quantum energy. So that, oh, I'm getting big chills. So that I feel like is the new Atlantean stuff coming through. And I did have, oh my God, my whole body is chilled. I did have something where I want to start working with Merlin. I have a lot of past life relationship with Merlin, more like a brother and soul friend type of relationship. But we're ready now to start working with these types of higher magics. Now, what does that mean? I don't know. I'm going to do an introductory episode here on the channel and then probably start putting the rest of these as workshops into my Patreon. But that's to come, because I'm really interested to see what does that mean? What does that mean for, me, regular Mojo out on the streets? What do I need to know about telekinesis and teleportation? Is that really important for my day-to-day life? I don't know. Is it more just, something fun to work with? Or is it something we're doing in the astral planes at night or whatever? I don't know. So we're going to explore that in another show. To me, the new Lemurian is the more going back to nature-based spirituality, working with the nature elementals, working with the planet, not the techie AI stuff, because I think they have to balance, to really be successful, I think they have to balance each other out. We can't be all techie, or then we start to go to like the Blade Runner thing that really is like, oh, I just am like, no, please no, let's not go to that like dystopian thing. And if we're too much new Lemurian, then we're not really taking full advantage of the technology and the off-planet stuff that other starseed nations that we're working with very closely are offering up to us to be able to take advantage of. The Arcturians, master healers, obviously the Pleiadians, we have a big Pleiadian starseed template as part of our human avatar template. The Lyrans, I mean, some of those that we work with much more. The Vegans, the Venusians have a lot of things to offer us. Oh, so many chills. Rantu rikidi, rikatu. So we may have some light language and what is this light language all about? They want to introduce you to themselves through some light language. Okay, well, let's do it. Why not? All right. So this is to just get a feel for the different vibrational energy of each of these star families that I've just mentioned. I've worked a lot with them through various parts of my journey. It's been going on for quite some time. Not as long as some of you, but I've been TLC for the soul probably since about 2012 or 2013. This channel has been out here for 7 years now. There's a lot of content if you want to take advantage of it. A lot of my books are on audiobook on YouTube and on the podcast. You can read the ebooks for free on my Smashwords publisher. I make oracle decks. I have a lot of Bringers of the Light merch on Redbubble, all of those fun things. And if you're interested in a personal reading with me, you can check out my Ko-fi page for all of those details. Again, links to everything I talk about, always in the show notes. Now let's do some light language right now. Let's just give a little introductory energy. Now, if you're new to light language, I don't think, who's new to light language? Okay, they're saying some are, but most here are very familiar with it. So I'm not going to do too much of an introduction. Light language, I think, is just like speaking, but it's the vibrational energy of whoever you're working with. I can bring in light language, from pretty much anybody that wants, we reach out and say, do you want to work with us, dragons or whoever? And, as long as they're pure spirit, then I would be interested in maybe, working with them. But let's see who wants to come through. So you'll just feel these as vibrations. It may bring up certain emotions or feelings within you. Maybe it brings up starseed memories of your own past lives in one of these places, because I've got the Lyrans coming in first. Just like a little introduction.
Jir ich induro rumbra gerato torantata nerata cretiti rondrena hareka torombat ketata turs merata torontate kshiterato rototo branderek torom para jar hrik minjare kuromba.
Very much spiritual warriors, the Lyrans. All right, next we have the Pleiadians coming through. Oh, you can run these codes all day long with the Pleiadians. I feel like their energy has ascended a little bit from when I first started connecting with them. You have to go pretty high up to be able to connect with that frequency. Vegans. If we stick for that for a while, it kind of starts to become a little bit like the Close Encounters from the Third Kind. You know, and then it just keeps going faster and faster, and we can sit there like that and just like transmit packets of information back and forth. Who else did we say? Oh, Arcturus, my friends. I have a soul friend who's an Arcturian healer. Soul friend like from Arcturus, not a human being that's from Arcturus. Anyway, regardless. They feel very talkative. I don't know. Thank you, everybody. They're Venusians. Nele loro mahare heshima oraka a lendero ore kenene a oshma al yerandere koroko shere karena o yame nele ro tur mahai kenala su chinemeneka artega a. Talking a lot about opening the heart. So the only thing I want to ask more about here is what up with the trickster energy of the white bird? Like, why is that bird so freaking prominent on this person's shoulder or not in the background? What do we need to know? Because that's the North Node. That's where we're going. That's what we're working towards. These are like overarching energies too, right? Your day-to-day is influenced by the daily astrology changes. And if you're not, I would invite you to reach out and just ask for your guides to send you like somebody who does like a little daily astrology report. There's a couple that I get every day to just kind of give you the lay of the land. And, you know, sometimes I take it with a grain of salt. Like I just saw 3333. Sometimes I take it with a grain of salt. Like that astrology is not going to get to me today. But ultimately, it does have some influence over you, no matter how strong your boundaries are. And you choose your reality, right? And there's some days where it's like nothing gets to me. I'm in La La Land, all day long playing with the fairies. But with this type of energy, with the South Node, I feel like we're forced to come back down to earth and deal with like 3D reality in a sense, to clear away certain things. So as much as I want to be off with the Fae and taken care of, if you've read any of my rows of San Juan Capistrano book, you know, Canton Cara is a fairy on the path to the bear's cottage, where you lose yourself in a fairy portal, and Canton Cara is in there having you do like her chores for her, like pick mushrooms and harvest crap. So, as much as I like to be there off in fairyland, you know, stuff just keeps coming up to be cleared, and the 3D, it's very challenging to be up high, come down low, be up high, come. So riding this wave of frequencies to deal with certain things. So I think that's where this is like care for yourself. A lot about this visualize healing is that was the thing that was the thing I was saying. I had like a tip the other day, because I was like, all these years of healing work trying to make us, well, for me, I've been working a lot on like very strong boundaries. When you're a sensitive person, sometimes your mental and emotional strength is, you know, attuned to the sensitive side of things, and it can be an emotional roller coaster, right? And so in order to have balanced energy, you can't have an emotional roller coaster. Your soul and your higher self have to be able to, as Master Ko says, control those horses. The charioteer controlling the horses being the emotional body, the mental body, and the actions of the physical body. And so in working really hard to find this very even, balanced state of being that is not a roller coaster of highs and lows. And so it was like, is that what we've been working on all this time? We've gotten a very balanced state so that we can deal with the next years that are to come. I don't know. Where are the benefits? I'm still, I just don't know. Anyway. All right. So let me just check in. That's 36 minutes. Is this only just about the nodes of fate? What's the other thing? Okay, they want to talk about the eclipses, not so much the wood snake. Okay, so now we're gonna tie all of this into the eclipses that are coming up in March. So okay, you want to start with Loveland. Okay, so this is my deck, Loveland. This is the spring pack. I actually mixed it with. I have a spring, summer, winter, and mixed it with the autumn pack, which right now it should be spring here. I don't know what's going on with the weather. Oh my gosh. So let's see. So what do we need to know about the eclipses coming up in March? Okay, so they're going to do it by eclipse. So the first one that's coming up. Missing you. It wasn't hard to say goodbye, Jillian thought. It was just the feelings that came afterward that she couldn't fathom came out with pie eating contest. Take it easy, take it slow. Moderation is called for right now. Okay, so let me just go back and refresh myself on the first eclipse was, did it say pointing to the south node? Well, that would make sense because you've got to do the clearing of the south node before you could do, yeah, the north node. So it's a full moon lunar eclipse, 23 minutes or 23 degrees, 56 minutes of Virgo. And I'm looking at a particular website. It says key things: relinquishing control, letting go of the need to micromanage, honoring what replenishes your system, and composting negative self-talk. But it's in Virgo. I think the whole theme of this year is about relinquishing control. I never did a 2025 energies video, but when we got moderation right here and saying goodbye. See, I think this is just another portal. With this portal, that eclipse is going to be another portal of things being removed. But, you know, I know everybody's on different timelines and everybody's soul journey has divine timing built in, but I don't know. I feel like we've been saying some of these same key points for so many years now. I don't know. What else do you want to say about this eclipse? Just see, this is my deck, Happy Cloud. Anything else? Oh, of course, you are upgrading. Expand, you are upgrading. So this is the first eclipse. Bam. playing out the key themes here. So I feel like even right now with this, I'm recording this on the day of the Leo full moon, which is the 12th, I think. All right. Is it just more of the same this year? Oh God, I don't know. I can get discouraged. This journey's been going on so long. I can get discouraged sometimes. Hey, nobody's perfect, right? Everybody's. Oh, look, they're like relief is being offered. Do you accept it? This is one of my most favorite cards. This is my own handmade drawn deck, the Labyrinth of Dragonshire. It's made from an October calendar from, I think, 1999. Oh, crap. 1999. No, 2019. 1999. This is a good card, though, because whenever it comes out and you say, yes, I accept it, the guides always step in to help out. Now, are they saying, let me just ask, are they saying help out because I said I was discouraged? Because we might need help with these energies. Yeah, because we might need help riding the wave of these energies. And it's like, okay. So we haven't had any tarot coming out. I'm going to get this deck. This is the Vision Quest Tarot. What kind of help is being offered to help ride this eclipse? I feel like we're already kind of getting into the eclipse portal. Life Force, card number 11. Life Force and upgrading. Now this is also a deck with a really good book. So let's here's what we're going to do. We're going to look at this eclipse. We're going to look at the second eclipse, and then that's probably going to be everything. But what is, in case you're, I know sometimes I could talk here for many hours without turning this thing off. But ecstasy, elation, passion, lust, eros, orgasmic creativity, the totality of feeling, sense of omnipotence. So I think these are the, okay, so this is how I'm seeing this. This is kind of like your 3D world is going to be upgrading, and things may be being removed from your life. You may be needing to go a little bit slower than normal during this time. The relief that's being offered, though, I think is the relief that's always out there, which is access to higher frequency dimensional energies, quantum codes. Yeah, but because if you allow yourself to be swept away by this wave of immense divine power, nothing will be impossible. The deepest meaning of this card goes beyond all conventional ideas about joy, vitality, or even rapture. It represents the source of all these energies. And it says, many are terrified of entering the state of ecstasy because what is generally valued most highly is lost: mental control. Releasing control. I think that's another big theme of this year, releasing control. Well, it's been a theme of the whole spiritual journey, I think, right? Or the whole Fool's journey is about releasing control. But it seems like more so, we're almost being talked into doing that. Talked into doing that, because if you don't, then it's very hard to pull yourself back out of the shadows again. And so it's like they're saying you can, this is the whole healing is fun too. You can, which is part of this healing over here. You can still do healing work and not be so down in the shadows. So they're saying that's a whole other episode that I might want to tap into and do some healing around that. So, okay, I'll accept that challenge. Oh, why not? All right, so the first eclipse is going to be clearing things out. The relief that's being offered is higher states of consciousness and ways of healing that are not always so shadow energy based. And so I am kind of interested to see, and maybe that's where Merlin does come in with these higher magical arts. Is it part of the same thing? Yes, they're saying yes. They're saying there's other ways to get there. Okay, so Merlin's coming in just real quick. So he's saying there's other ways to get where we're trying to go. And this healing work doesn't have to be so burdensome. Well, hey, I want to do a whole show on that then, because this past couple of days has just really knocked me for a loop. And you guys can see if you're a regular here, I haven't posted in quite some time. I've just been really, really exhausted. I think, and the Mars retrograde right now, which doesn't end, I think, towards the end of the month, I think it was February 26th, wasn't helping. But I just got to a point like last week where I was like, I'm tired of TLC for the soul. I'm tired of this whole journey. Nothing, still nothing I'm trying to manifest is manifested. And we're going on 7 years, some maybe even longer for some of these things. And I've just had it. Emotionally, physically, I was like, I've just had it. I just want to just walk away from this whole thing. And of course, you never can really walk away. But when you're like that, you know, your guide's like, well, you have to take a break then. And so I took a break, and I'm doing a little bit better around it, but I'm still like just miffed about timing. And maybe some of you are there with me as well. I know some of you have commented and sent me DMs on Instagram and said, you know, you kind of are in some of the same boats that I am in. And, you know, part of it too is some of these karmic things that we're clearing, we are energetically bound to them, and I feel like, some days I'm like, I feel like a prisoner on this journey because I cannot leave here until I'm done with this clearing. And so I'm basically feel like I'm being made to wait in this place that I'm at. It's very uncomfortable. So for those of you that comment like, you're always so positive all the time, it's like, yes, I try to be, but I have, you know, an emotional body just like everybody else. And their energies are really strong and can kind of wear at that a little bit. And I think today, I mean, I was to a point where I didn't have to clear my energy, like hardly at all. And I think over the past couple of days, 3 and 4 times a day, I'm like, Archangel Michael, can you please help me clear my energy? Things are coming out of my chakras. I just can't keep up with it. And so Archangel Michael is like my best buddy when it comes to like, if I always do it myself, but when I need a quick clearing, I'm like, please just come in and take care of it for me. All right, let's look at this last eclipse. Oh, my room is getting super hot because the sun is on this side of the house right now. This is March 29th. This is a new moon solar eclipse near the North Node, although, I don't know, I guess so. 9 degrees Aries. Seems like a little bit out there, but I guess maybe it's close enough. So what do we need to know, Spirit, about... Let's keep with the same decks. What do we need to know about that second eclipse towards the end of March? This is the North Node. So we're clearing, we're upgrading. This is North Node's where we're going. Oh, look, again, a similar card to the relief card. Spirit guides, will you allow us to help, came out, oops, I'm a little too close to the camera, with peace in the heart. As the beings of Loveland looked on, all they could ever want or need was right before their eyes. Peace within you and peace all around you. You are truly blessed. Let me see if the noise in the hallway has died down so I can open my door. Whew, that's not. Yeah, my son was playing copyrighted music, and so I can't have that in the background of my video, or YouTube will put a nice little strike on my channel. I don't want that. All right, what else? That seems very similar to what it's got going on up here. But what else do we need to know about this eclipse at the end of March? LS, why did you leave me? And desire rises. LS. I don't know. And maybe you're leading me on another. What else? This is all about self-care, this card. All of that. Look at all that lavender energy. That's all like Kuan Yin-ish to me when lavender comes up. It's always, yeah, like Kuan Yin, divine feminine rising. Okay, so it's following the same themes. So what I see here is it's following the same themes as the actual nodes of fate themselves. And the eclipses just do what? Like, what the heck? Spark up the energy. Like, I've been watching too much Fridays. Spark up the energy. Okay, who is this? This is like a funny guide coming in. Oh, Rasta man. All right, well, it might be coming from my son's energy. We actually do like to watch the movie Friday. Is it Friday? Friday, yeah, with Ice Cube. All right. Anyway, maybe that is what you need is some lighthearted, like fun energy, compassion, self-care. My God, you're making it seem like this is ever gonna end. What do we want to add to that? Because it's what is this? Why did you leave me? This is a separation card or like a breakup, like separation energy. It looks to me like a tombstone when I didn't know when I drew it, but it looks like a tombstone, and there's like healing on one side of it and a person on the other side. The tombstone then would be like death and rebirth. Gosh darn it. I don't know if RLS stands for anything. SLR. Anybody's initials maybe. LSR. Ancestral healing. There could be a lot going on with ancestral healing as we karma. It's the same themes. Karma clearing. How is this different than what we just experienced over the last year and a half with the nodes of fate in Aries and Libra and now Pisces and Virgo? How is this energy different? It's it's quantum, baby. It's like Austin Powers. It's quantum, baby. I think there's some more. There's a levity to it that we haven't been able to reach before. There's that same thing. Where did it go? There's this kind of bliss states and ecstasy states and higher dimensional frequencies that over the last year and a half prior to this we didn't have access to before. That we can reach now. But let's get this one last card from this Vision Quest and see if there's anything else. What is this? Eight of Fires, the Eight of Wands. Was that a solar eclipse? I already forgot what I read. I think was that the solar side of things? Yes. A new moon solar eclipse near the North Node. And so the Eight of Fire insight. A light goes on, seeing through, a quick assessment of a situation. Clear ideas and practical suggestions will move what has long been stagnant in the right direction. If you don't insist on your own vision, but dare to see through the eyes of everyone involved, an agreement will be reached rapidly. It doesn't matter who comes up with the best idea. What counts is that the matter gets resolved to the benefit of all. Much is becoming clear to you now. Your inner channels are open, enabling you to be frank, honest, and most important, speak from your heart. On a personal level, you are in a position to clear up an important matter. Since you have nothing to hide or protect, you can share your insights lovingly. Heart opening, compassion with this Kuan Yin energy. Lots of peacefulness. The healing can be fun. So it sounds like what I need to do next is come in with Merlin and talk about these higher states of consciousness in terms of the healing journey, because if we're going to have more of this, it's not going to stop, right? But if we're going to have more of this, maybe there's some more fun, succinct, or fluid ways to go through this healing to where we don't have to drop our frequency so low to be able to do it. I don't know what it's going to take, but that'll be the next show. I think that's what I'll come through with next. And since we opened with the City of Dreams, I guess we'll get one more card and close with that. So anything else to say, Spirit, about the nodes of fate, the eclipses, the portal? Oh, see, I knew it. It's the same card. Levity. Things are looking up, things are going up, and things are increasing. And levity is also too about your attitude and your mood and the way you approach what's happening, which, there's always room for improvement. Like Cesar Milan says, very awakened divine masculine, better human, better planet. So, all right, so I'm going to close this out here. When I see you again, I think we'll be working with Master Merlin, see what my soul brother wants to bring through for us. I'm kind of excited to be doing that and see what's out there in terms of higher magical healing arts. And until then, friends, thank you all so much for joining me here, and we will see you again soon. Take care. All my bringers of the light at TLC for the Soul will recognize our opening invocation to the show and podcast. This highly protective magical wear bears the bringers of the light sigil, which radiates love, magic, and healing, while also acting as an energy shield of protection for you. Wear with care, because you just might feel like singing a song, dancing with joy, or running away with the fae. Wrapped in love light and light love sigil wear, available at our TLC for the Soul Redbubble merch shop. Thank you for listening, and take care.